Hey yo, my name is Island and welcome back to my channel. So, without further ado, in this very garbage intro, we're going to talk about a garbage show. Saying garbage is a little bit harsh, but it certainly smelled like a dumpster fire, and there was actual fire there. The opening match was good. It was Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins. The Shield theme, I personally loved it. I saw some people calling it cringy, but I really liked it. I loved his entrance and how he came in through the crowd. It was great. I'm not sure how I feel about how it ended, which was with a DQ, but it did make the most sense. It felt like a match that was building up to something, but it obviously isn't going anywhere. They're obviously gonna push Brock versus Roman Reigns, but this one, it didn't feel finished. It felt like there should be more going on there and building the storyline between the two of them. But with Seth on Raw and Roman on SmackDown, I just don't see it happening, which is just disappointing. I could be surprised, but there's no way they're gonna do another rematch that would actually be legit, since they so clearly want Brock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So while the opening match was good and amazing, it was also as big of a waste as it was good. It just has so much more potential to it that it's frustrating, because it could be amazing. They could really draw this out. I know it was thrown together at the last minute because of people getting COVID and then Brock winning the title, which wasn't supposed to happen supposedly. There's a whole debate going on about that, and I'm not getting involved. But it feels like they could, after that, it feels like it deserves a rematch, even though it's probably not going to get one. It feels like it deserves to be continued, even though it's definitely not going to be, which is such a letdown. And yeah, so that match was great. The storytelling was awesome in it, in the match itself, which you don't always get, especially nowadays. The Women's Royal Rumble was next. Overall, it was decent. In Rumbles, I tend to notice that people on the side don't really do moves and are not very good. They half-heartedly try to throw each other over the ropes with no real effort, which it's like a Rumble. It's like every woman for herself, and they're just there I'll push you slightly over the edge. Bianca fighting with people in the background that she could easily just toss over the edge, and all they're doing is holding onto it with their forearms, just hugging the top rope. No, just throw them. Just keep fighting. Just keep doing moves in the ring if you're gonna do that, because it looks dumb. They always make it clear too who you're supposed to be looking at by doing this. A little ooh, ah, in the background fighting each other, and then someone will come out and that person's obviously who you're supposed to be focusing on, and they're gonna be fighting someone in the middle of the ring when they first come out, and you're supposed to focus on those two and going wow, and then everyone else is just in the corners of the whole ring doing dumb stuff. Also, Natalya with her hands on the rope over and over again, she's hanging on just by her fingers. She's got such great strength. That was so dumb. The commentary team was trying so hard to save that one, and it looked stupid. People were kicking her. She had two people at once kicking her, and she was just holding on supposedly only by her hands. If someone's kicking you and you're holding on to something, you're not probably gonna still be holding on to it. It just looked so dumb, and she kept almost getting eliminated, but nope, she's hanging on by her literal fingers again. It looked so dumb, and I feel so bad for all of the people who are having to wrestle with her and do that absolute garbage. Naomi and Sonya's storyline, it's going amazing, and the way that they continued it in this match was great. And it was really exciting seeing Cameron return, even if it wasn't for very long, and her returning just boosted their whole Naomi versus Sonya, and I really liked how they did that. That one was really nice. I'm a little bit disappointed that Naomi didn't do anything like how she's done in the past Rumbles, where she's like jumped the barricade and walked on her hands and like stood on chairs and done crazy stuff. I'm glad she didn't win, and I'm glad with the way she was eliminated. I feel like storyline wise, that was a very smart and good decision. Also, the way the crowd was just popping when she was punching Sonya was great. I loved it. I didn't get into wrestling while the Bellas were active, and it was a joy getting to see them come back again. With stuff Bria's been saying in interviews, like teasing about coming back, I really hope they actually do. There's also a spot that I noticed where someone, I can't remember who it was, they like picked up Nikki, and Bria had to run over and kind of like grab her and stop them, because to me it looked like they were about to do something that would obviously cause damage to her neck, which obviously with her injury would be very dangerous. So that was like a bit of a weird moment. I don't know if anybody else caught that, if that was like something done on purpose to be like, oh my gosh, the Bellas are helping each other. And I really hate the ending of the match. The end like just ruined the whole thing for me. Ronda Rousey winning was just awful. I've never liked her in-ring style, and I don't think she should have won. Storyline wise, it makes not a lot of sense. I was really hoping Belair would win. I still don't take the women's division seriously, and her being one of the few people to win 2 Rumbles in a row would have been incredible. That crowd would have like exploded. They had a rare once-in-a-life opportunity here with her. She's over, she's good as heck, and it fits her storyline perfectly. And, you know, it doesn't normally line up with people being able to win 2 Rumbles in a row like that. And for it to, like, not be super obvious that that's what they're trying to do and they're trying to accomplish, which just kind of makes it end up looking dumb. And they didn't have that here. It would have been perfect. She's, you know, she could have, like, her rematch with Becky or whatever, and then bam, get her title back. Instead they just sacrificed it for Ronda. And I also hated Charlotte being the final 2 in the match, and also being in the match. Like, that was so unnecessary. I guess it like did do away with her doing a championship match since she was competing, and you know, all the champions were like putting their title on the line tonight, but I didn't like it. The Women's Royal Rumble has never main evented before, and it's usually filled with dumb interruptions, and it's just a major letdown how it was and how they ended up doing it. And I don't like how they ended it. It's terrible. Like, overall, it was good, and it had like a lot of really good moments, but the ending just absolutely ruined it for me. Becky versus Doudrop was very predictable, and the sign on fire was so funny. I like how they did her finisher like from the second rope. That's like the only real way it makes sense, her putting her away. But the rest of the match was very predictable, and it was very clear Doudrop wasn't ever going to win or be taken seriously throughout the whole thing. Then using angles that didn't have the sign on fire again was really funny to me. For no reason. I just find it hilarious. The one match that did actually surprise me was Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. I assumed that Brock was just probably going to win or something, and he didn't. And Roman Reigns interrupting, it was very good. I liked how they did that. They just had him come in. I feel like he should have hit him with a different object, though. Him hitting him with a title belt, title belts don't look like they could just, like, take a person out like that. And Brock Lesnar is supposed to be this great, unstoppable person, and, like, him being taken out by being hit, like, 3 or 4 times in the head with a title belt seems really stupid. Because, like, he's not taken out when people punch him that many times, but, like, the flimsy little title belt, no. It looked so tiny in their hands. Like, whenever they hold that thing, it just looks so little. But Paul Heyman handing it to him was really something that they've got something interesting going on between him, going back and forth between the two of them, and that's very interesting how they're doing that. I wonder who he's going to end up with, you know, because he's an advocate, so obviously one of the two he's going to go to, or it'd be really cool if there was like a third option and he just did something completely different nobody expects. And that's like probably just wishful thinking. Then it was Maurice and The Miz versus Beth Phoenix and Edge. The Miz always loses his matches. Like he ends up with storylines that build, and then he always ends up on the losing end whenever the storyline ends, which is annoying, but it was a good match. There's no way Beth would have been able to stand and march around as she did after supposedly getting hit by a brick in the back, which was a little annoying that they chose to do that. Maurice moved surprisingly well, but it seemed as if she maybe had some mobility problems, which I know she's had surgery on her back, so it could be that. Also, I love Beth's new look. I hope she and Edge stay around a little while longer. She's more from a time when they didn't take women wrestlers seriously, and it would be nice if she could have some really nice matches and do crazy stuff. This was honestly the match I was looking forward to aside from the Women's Rumble, and even though my personal feelings of wanting The Miz to win didn't happen, it was still a very good match. Ended up being, in my opinion, the best one of the night, which wasn't hard to do compared to everything else, since it was followed up by the Men's Royal Rumble. But again, all of the spots in the match were very nice. Maurice did some stuff that really surprised me and I didn't expect her to do, and it was a really good match. It was followed up obviously by the Men's Royal Rumble match. It started out great. I don't really like men's wrestling, so to me it was fine, but it was full of way too many tag teams. It doesn't make sense putting tag teams into something only one person can win unless you're planning on breaking up the tag teams. They did the same horrible background moves in this one as they do in the women's one too. Randy Orton coming out was for sure a highlight, and he came out just after Riddle had almost been eliminated, but it would have been better if he had, when he was like actively trying to, like someone was trying to throw him out and he would have helped him. And it's always nice to see those two together. They're such a great tag team. Kofi's botch was so painful. As I said, most wrestlers half-heartedly wrestle in the background while you're supposed to be focusing on something else. And it was very clear he was supposed to be doing some crazy stuff for a long time, and ended up not, because he got himself eliminated. Even Pat couldn't save it. It was so incredibly awkward, and there was just pure silence. It was the one time I actually wished for the commentary to talk and just do something. Normally I find them annoying aside from Pat. Everyone in the ring to me just seemed super confused as what to do, and everyone could tell there's no way that was supposed to happen. And the crowd was just so dead. It was so awkward. I just can't get over that. I am glad that they didn't try to pull some BS in the replay and pretend that it didn't happen. But that just pure silence of not even commentary knowing what to say was just so painful. And also, like in the women's one, I hate the ending of this one too. Brock came out and immediately just eliminated everyone. He came out last and he already had a match. Him being able to end the match so fast was just so annoying. I know they want to make him look strong and unbeatable, but they are making him too overpowered to the point where he's like some robot and it's just getting tiresome. Like, can someone just actually beat him up already? And he didn't even need to win. It was clear he got screwed by Roman. He didn't need this to get a rematch, and it also makes the Seth storyline go away to focus on this. I know it's been leaked that Riddle was supposed to win, and that honestly would have actually surprised me, and I'm really glad it didn't happen. Him and Randy still need some time to have their shining moment, and it seems too soon. I don't want their tag team to like ever be broken up, so like it's always gonna be too soon to me, but it does genuinely feel too soon to break them up. I'm disappointed that both Rumbles didn't have anybody from NXT. That was like something everybody was like theorizing about. Who are they going to bring over? And then they're just like, joke's on you, nobody. Overall, it was okay. I like wrestling, so I obviously enjoyed the show. But there was also a lot that was wrong with it, and I'm not just going to blindly ignore all of that. So I guess that's kind of been like my review and my thoughts on it. I don't think anyone really cares, but I still did it anyway. Haha. I hope you have an amazing day, or simply just have a day.